Well, Joanne, it's great to have this opportunity for us to
Oh,
share.
good.
As Connie indicated, we are, grateful to have this chance, and because what we want to do truly is get the word out about what we offer, and the more people that we can talk to about Take Shape for Life, we feel like the more opportunity that we have to make a difference in other people's lives. So the best way for me to get started is to find out a little bit more about you. So if you don't mind, would you kind of just tell me about you, like what's important to you and what's life like for you right now?
Okay, well, right now, I guess the most important thing is I can function as well as I can, and my finances are such that I don't feel stressed about being able to pay bills and things, and I'm not able to work now. The
Okay.
accident was a near fatal accident, and I was in the hospital for 10 weeks. I pretty much lost the use of my left arm.
Wow.
I'm So I guess that's it. I'm getting better every day as far as health wise, I think.
How long ago was that, Joanne?
It was in June 24th, 2015.
Wow. Wow. And tell me, like, no, you're a nurse, so were you
Yes.
nursing right up until that point, or?
I was working up until then. I was on my way to work when it happened, in fact.
Okay.
And it's the day I got out of the hospital was the day they let me go. So I guess that was so they wouldn't have to keep paying the insurance.
Mm.
But whatever, that's
Well, so what about your health right now? I'm so glad to hear that you do feel like you're getting better every day.
well, it's a permanent disability.
Mm-hmm.
I did find out I get to start occupation health again Monday. Finally, the insurance company approved it, so hopefully that'll help.
Yes.
Basically, it's been an adjustment getting used to not having. I really work with just one arm. That's been an adjustment.
Yeah, wow.
Um,
So as we go through this, we're going to actually look at kind of the three areas of health, or really well-being. We refer to, as you heard Connie ask about, the Trilogy presentation, and so that's what we're referring to. So we'll kind of go through the different areas of well-being, and I will ask you to kind of give me a little bit of a picture of where you feel like you fall in those areas, and we'll have some things to look at to evaluate that. But just kind of even before, when we talk about healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances, where do you sort of off the cuff feel like you might be most out of balance?
Healthy mind.
Healthy mind.
Hmm.
And we'll look at that a little bit closer. Maybe you can, kind of help me understand that a little bit better about, like, which areas of that where you feel like would make that one the most out of balance. And so,
Okay.
and then, one of the things that we talk a lot about, living our life around the things that matter most to us, and just really kind of looking at what's possible for ourselves and others. And so the things that hold us back are often, what we think is possible. But so let's just set that aside. If there wasn't anything standing in your way, like, what would you really like to see happening in your life?
What would I really like to see happening in my life? I'd like for it to stabilize some. Well, of course, he said, barring things that have happened, possibly getting into another relationship. I don't know. That could be down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I just everything's fairly stable as best it can be right now.
Okay, good. So it sounds stability is very important to you, and then and then you mentioned about relationships and things like
Yeah.
that. So,
Well, I have all my friends. I have friends and all, but it would be nice to have more of another type of relationship, I guess.
yeah, somebody to share your life with, right?
Right.
Yeah. So so it sounds like, you've had a lot of changes, so I'd kind of like to get a feel for how long it's been that you've been dealing with some of this stuff. So the healthy body side of things, you've had some significant changes in the last 6 months or so.
Yes.
Yeah, and were there any
Definitely.
underlying health concerns that you had prior to that?
I had problems with anxiety and depression. Prior to that, my husband had left, and that was rather devastating. We'd been married 32 years. I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
So things kind of took a downhill turn I guess for the last 5 years. It's been kind of stressful.
Yeah,
But
well,
I think I'm getting
wow,
better.
yeah, you've had a lot going on. So, yeah, I appreciate your willingness to just kind of share. I mean, it gives me a better feel for, honestly, why Connie recognized that, that there is a lot that we offer that would benefit someone that has some of the, concerns that you have and that are in that place right now. So, I just, again, I mean, the purpose is for us to explore what's possible, for us to kind of go through, share with you what we offer at Take Shape for Life, and then for us to see, really see if there's a match. And so what we really like to start with is a healthy body. And I don't know, you've known Connie for a while, and it sounds like she's talked to you about some of this. So there's probably some things that you already know about Take Shape for Life. But so some of this may be a review for you. But now let me just
Okay.
start by letting you know who we are as Take Shape for Life. I mean, we're really we're a community of people, for one thing, and many of us have had challenges with our own health. We also feel like, we found something that works. A lot of health coaches are people who have a background in the health field. Others are lay people. Others are maybe just have had an interest in health and now have found a vehicle to be able to share that with other people. And then I would say one thing that we truly all have in common is we have a desire to see improvements in our own health and to see other people make improvements in their health too. And what I have found is that Take Shape for Life as a company is very committed to providing resources and support to help people to reach those goals. So we're going to start with a healthy body. I'm going to actually try to hold up a chart that maybe you'll be able to see. First, I'll just kind of do the whole thing. Like if I hold this up, can you kind of see what it's about?
I can see the bigger letters. I can't see the little
Can't
letters.
see the smaller ones.
No, I can't see the smaller ones.
So this is the trilogy that I was referring to, like when we talk about healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. So if I were to pull it up like that.
Okay, now that, back up a little.
Focus?
Yes.
Jay, I'm taking her. Jay, I didn't know you were going to use that. I'm going to take her a chart herself, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that would help because
yeah. So we have the advantage that you're actually in. Are you in the same house?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
We were going to be at my house, but I couldn't remember my passcode.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
So I ended up coming up here because I couldn't remember my passcode and I couldn't find it.
That's perfect. But I love that I didn't even know that y'all were in the same house. Isn't technology
Yes.
great? I saw Connie was beside you, but I thought I knew y'all lived near each other. I don't know how I thought that happened.
Yeah, we live right down the street from each other.
That's so great. Okay, so you've got the chart in front of you now. And one of the things I do want to say is, I mean, we're going to kind of go through and look at, a scale of 1 to 10, okay, 10s just might not be possible for everybody. We understand that. But the idea is that we always want to be improving.
Right.
So, we'll kind of go through each one and explore, and so as you look at the healthy body, you see that we're not just talking about being at a healthy weight, or not necessarily even, not, being medicine free or those kinds of things, but we're really we're looking at, a lot of it is looking at our habits. And, are we where we would want to be as far as a healthy body? So, would you be willing to share, like kind of looking at that, where you would rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Sure. Let's see, the healthy body part, probably, I'd say somewhere between, probably a 4, maybe a 5. Well, you don't have 5 on there. Probably a 4 on the healthy body, really, because I don't sleep that well. I have some trouble with physical activity.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm not working, but I think my home environment is fairly safe as long as I don't try to get in a hurry.
Right.
My weight, I have no idea what it is. I haven't weighed since the doctor's office, but if my BMI is any example, I'm probably overweight. Healthy eating, I do the best I can. It's usually microwave or sandwiches because it's difficult for me to fix like a 3-course meal or something.
Right, right.
So I try to keep it simple. And sleeping, I have never been a good sleeper, and it's not improved any.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd lean more, but although I think my mind's in more trouble than my body is, I have to go more for a 4.
For about a 4, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are there areas that you see listed here that you feel motivated to make changes in, or that you'd like to see improvement in?
Physical activity, I'm getting to where I can walk around more and ride my bicycle, which I have a 3-wheel bicycle. I don't dare try a 2-wheel. But I don't know. I'm trying to eat fairly healthy. Like I said, I've got to keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult for me to fix a whole meal, but I do try to keep it fairly healthy. I stay away from, except for my coffee. I put sugar in my coffee. But that's, it's my comfort food.
Right.
But I don't buy sweets anymore. Since it's just me, I don't have to buy those stupid little Debbie snacks my husband used to eat all the time. So I don't have the temptation there. I eat a lot of yogurt for my sweet tooth. I thought maybe that would be a little bit better than eating a piece of cake or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it sounds like you are motivated, and that you're trying to make choices that support better health for yourself. And maybe so one of the things that we talk about, healthy body isn't just the healthy weight, but it does incorporate those things that, like you brought up about the sleep and wanting to have that motion, healthier activity level and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that when we're looking at healthy body with Take Shape for Life, we really are addressing our health in a very comprehensive way. Most people will start with us with addressing their eating and being at a healthy weight. That's really, the way that we start with a lot of our clients. But through our materials, which we're going to get around to in a minute, talking about just our 3-prong approach with a healthy body, so we really do start addressing, dealing with stress in a healthy way, and how to incorporate activity into our life, sleep. Gosh, we'll talk a little bit more about Dr. Anderson, our medical director, in a minute, but great chapter in our curriculum about healthy sleep and how to put some things into action to help us move forward those areas of our life. So what I want to share, so we use a comprehensive program. I said we've got those 3 areas that I look at as being like a 3-legged stool. So we have the eating part of our program, and we're going to talk about that. So the nutrition side of things. We also have our habits of health system, and that's where we're really looking at the lifestyle piece, making those long-term changes so that we can really be in a place where we're kind of back in the driver's seat of our health and our life. And then having the one-on-one support of a health coach, which is most people find as a really critical element of making lasting change. So with the eating part, the protocol that we use most often is referred to as the 5-in-1 plan. And so what the 5-in-1 plan is we've got 6 times a day that we're eating. 1 time a day, that's the one, is what we refer to as a lean and green meal. So that's the 1 time a day that we have to think about what we're going to do as far as making choices about our meal. And then 5 times a day, we're using medically formulated meal replacements. They're designed to keep things super simple and give us the right nutrition at the right time. So what we know is that getting small meals often with the right balance of protein and carbs in a way that we're burning fat and preserving lean muscle mass is a great way to create healthy habits, as well as to get very predictable results with weight loss. So that is our 5 in 1. Mm-hmm. And so what it has us doing is eating every 2 to 3 hours, drinking water throughout the day, and putting, like I said, putting those habits in place that we know that are going to serve us long term, like eating small, balanced meals.
Right.
Throughout the day. So that's the 5 in 1. We also have other protocols. We have a maintenance plan that we refer to as a 3 in 3. And so that is for people who've already reached their healthy weight. We also have protocols for nursing moms. We have other protocols just for specific dietary needs and such. So it's good for us to let people know about that, because we all will come across people in our lives that would really benefit from what we offer. And a lot of times people will make assumptions that, oh, they're nursing, they can't do this, or they have to be gluten-free, or different specific needs and stuff like that. So just wanted to, but the 5 in 1 is the primary protocol that we use with most of our clients. So, okay, I mentioned the second piece. Okay, do you have a question about that? Did you want to ask me anything? Okay. I had you heard about the 5 in 1 before from talking to Connie or in the community?
I think Connie's mentioned it. I know, again, I don't really remember word for word conversations we've had about it. So,
okay.
But I'm
sure.
sure
If you think of something that you want to ask me about, please do, and we can definitely come back around to that. But so the other piece I mentioned about the lifestyle piece, that's our habits of health system. Our director, Dr. Anderson, understands that in order for us to make lasting change, there has to be a lifestyle piece to this. We know that 85% of people who go on a diet will gain their weight back, and that is because they're doing something on a temporary basis and they're returning back to old habits. So the idea really is to learn habits and behaviors that are going to create health for the long term. And I really do believe that this piece of our program is what sets us apart. And it's made a tremendous difference in mine and Connie's life. I know that. Mm-hmm. And it's what gets me really excited about sharing with other people. So, so this is, honestly, if you talk to somebody about what they're looking for, most of the people that I talk to will tell me that they're looking for lasting change.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. And then the third piece is really what makes our program very unique, in that we are a coaching program. And so that is having a personal health coach, somebody that's going to link arms with you, walk side by side. It's that personal support, the guidance, encouragement, that person that is going to be there when you hit that speed bump and feel like you've hit a roadblock and just need that person that's going to help you move past that. And
right.
So, and in addition to that, we really have a whole community of optimal health support. We are, we have our online games. We have wonderful support available to us through Take Shape for Life. We have nutritional services. We've got nurse support calls and doctor support calls that are available to our clients. So we really are surrounding people with community to, so it's like a health bubble, to give us a place to really start putting these kind of changes into our life, and to be surrounded with other people that want the same thing.
Right.
For themselves. So that's about the support, and it kind of comes, and our health coach truly kind of guides us to those resources. as well as providing that one-on-one support. So,
Okay.
we've got that, the scientifically proven, the products and the program, clinical studies from Johns Hopkins, National Institutes of Health. I say that since I know that you have the nursing background. I'm glad that we're able to offer something like that really does give those predictable results. In a healthy way. And then the habits of health system, that's the long term, putting those things into place for the long term, and then the one-on-one support of a health coach. So that is where we kind of talk about the healthy body side of things. And then you referenced, so let me ask a couple of questions actually.
Okay.
If someone is looking at doing our program, there's a few questions that we'll ask them, and that is, can you eat every 3 hours? Or if we keep it super simple, would you be willing to eat every 3 hours?
Well, probably, yes.
Yeah. And then drinking water. That's another, healthy habit in life is to drink water. And then, we ask you, would you want the support of someone who's either gone through a health struggle themselves or has been working with other people who have gone through struggles before?
Yes.
And then, is being healthy, something that, are you interested in really being in the driver's seat of your own health and working with others to, move toward those goals?
Yes, that would be good questions.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, really, I guess, evaluating somebody's readiness to really want to move forward in this area. So when somebody's getting started on plan, what happens is they make the decision that they're ready to go. Then they are actually we help them get their account set up. They're ordering program materials for 30 days, and that will actually arrive right at their doorstep. And so they'll have everything that they need to get going. And usually, within a week that arrives to them. And then it's just to give you a little sense about what the cost is, it ends up being about $11 or $12 a day. I always like to estimate high and just say about $12 a day.
Right.
And so what we find is for most people that they find it to be very cost neutral. It is an exchange of grocery store dollars. And in the long term, I would even, you could go into things about what you ultimately end up saving because of the transformations that we see in people's lives. So one of the things that you had the benefit because you've seen Connie's transformation, but, even connecting like this, like I don't have a big before and after picture to show you all of that, but it's just or we're meeting in groups or somebody sharing their stories. So it's so incredible to see the kinds of transformations that are taking place in people's lives. Yes. And so I know in my family, my husband, our family physician, recommended the program to him, and he ended up losing 60 pounds, just really, changing his health. And how incredible it is that, when one person makes a decision to get healthy, the people around them, it starts impacting the people around them. And so he's at work, he's seen by other people. His coworker, Mary, sees him. She decides, that she wants what he's got. And Mary is Connie's sister.
Oh, okay.
It's really exciting to me to think, and then the number of people who Connie has impacted in her world. And when I think, gosh, that's because my husband said yes, when
that's
the
great.
Doctor encouraged him to make a change. So, and that's why we refer to it as paying it forward.
Right.
Right.
That's good. Yes.
Yeah. And it really is. And the neat thing about that is it also will hold us accountable. I know that as a health coach, it holds me accountable to just to stick into what I have said that I want for myself, and to just, making choices every day that support good health, and just surrounding myself with that community. Again, not that I get it perfect, none of us do. I don't have a 10 on the scale,
Right.
but it definitely does keep my commitment level high. And so that's one of the reasons that people will decide to become a health coach, is they want to have an extra layer of support, if you will, on keeping their weight off, and the fulfillment and all of that stuff. So, well, all right, let's talk. Let me hold up. Oh, you've got the chart in front.
Wait a minute, I dropped it, so let me get it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Are you
all right. So,
yeah, I got it.
Are you
got it?
Screen sharing, Gay?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay.
Did she get the chart? I think she has it.
I got it. I just had to pick it up.
All right.
I got it.
We'll look at the healthy mind piece of it next. And so kind of a reference to something that I said before, we kind of think of healthy mind as organizing your life around what matters most. And like some of the things that you brought up when you were sharing, you can see some of those things that are listed here, but it would include like things like relationships and, where do you fall in terms of feeling like your life has meaning and purpose, and just levels of fulfillment and those areas. So, of course, Joanne, none of this is like an exact science. I mean, I think that this part helps us to identify areas where we're wanting to make changes. So you had already indicated to me that you felt like healthy mind was probably the area that is maybe most out of balance.
Yes, I have a lot of problem with anxiety, and some of it's, of course, not necessarily realistic anxiety. It's just I get anxious about things that I really don't need to be anxious about.
Right.
And, let's see, I have strong relationships with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm not working. I do have spiritual time to myself. While I don't go to an organized church, I am spiritual. I do believe that there is a God. So, but I just don't go to the organized religions.
Right.
A lot of mine is related to anxiety and depression.
Okay.
That's where I have the problems with.
Okay.
And it's really, I think a lot of it's my own mind doing it. It's not really something that actually exists sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I perceive it that way.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it sounds like you're very clear on understanding that when we're looking at our overall health and our overall well-being, that we can't necessarily put all of these in their own little block.
Right.
And they're all very interconnected. And while our healthy mind is going to impact our motivation and desire with our, moving forward with a healthy body, the vice versa is true too. That we do know that there is a link between our healthy body and our healthy mind, physiologically, not just psychologically.
Right.
So, and is that an area where you feel like you're making progress, or?
I think I'm making progress. I still have days when I feel like I just want to be a hermit and not talk to anybody, or I have, little crying spells, but I think I'm getting better. Mm-hmm. I try to make myself go out and mingle sometimes when I don't. I am self-conscious about my arm because the scar is pretty bad. And wearing a short sleeve shirt or a sleeveless shirt is I'm a little hesitant about it right now. So that's a little bit of an issue.
Right.
I guess that would be a self-esteem issue. So that creates anxiety.
Yeah, no, you've been through a lot, and I appreciate your willingness to talk about it. And, we really, I think the more I learn, the more I become aware of just areas, in my own life where I want to continue to move forward. And that is one of the things that I would say about, being a part of Take Shape for Life. It is a community of personal growth where, that is just recognizing that we want to always be moving closer to those 7s, 8s, and 9s.
Right.
And feeling like we are set in a community that fosters that and encourages that and allows us to grow in those ways. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the healthy finance piece of this, kind of see how they all fit in together. And
okay.
So again, I will say we're not speaking strictly in terms of like being wealthy. We're
right.
looking more just having an abundant life, being looking at the things that mean, something to you. I mean, it might be traveling to be able to visit with family, or, being able to care for somebody else, and so there are certain things that matter to us that require finances, right?
Right.
So I didn't know you shared with me about not, you're not working anymore. Is that something that happened on your timeline, or are you wanting to work?
No, it happened a little earlier than I had planned on. I mean, I'm not quite Medicare age yet, but I do have some financial resources coming in. I'm working on getting disability because although they said I could do a job, I don't see how. I can't pick anything up. So this is second go around with disability. No, I'm a little earlier than I had planned.
Okay. And where do you feel like you fall on that scale?
No, actually, I probably, again, I think closer to a 6. I really have the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wealthy, but I have money to probably live comfortably. Keep my lifestyle up with, as long as I don't get wild with it.
Right.
And I haven't had to get into my IRA yet, so that was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's a source of anxiety again, not necessarily anything that actually is something I should be anxious about, but it is a source of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not much, I know the stock market's dropping, but I'm not much for sitting there watching every move it makes because I don't want to.
Right. It's not something you can control, right?
No, I can't control it, and I don't want to watch it drop.
Right. Well, as you know, there's a lot of financial struggle in the United States,
right?
And there's in addition to a lot of health struggles in the United States right now. So we almost kind of look at it like we've got two things colliding that is where Take Shape for Life can really meet needs that people have. And so we've got the program to address people's health needs. We kind of look at the whole comprehensive picture of things, but then we also, we do offer the health coaching and understanding that there's a lot of Americans that they don't have adequate savings. They are, not where they want to be in terms of their retirement. So we see a lot of people that are interested in paying it forward that also will want to look at the financial side of Take Shape for Life and see where it's going to fit into some of their long-term plans, and recognizing again that it can really make a difference in the things that matter most to them. So for some people, it's about building time into their lives and schedule. People that are working long hours and maybe actually getting paid well, but not having any time freedom. And
yes, I had that before.
Yeah.
So.
And then for other people, they're just not finding fulfillment maybe in their work and stuff. And then there's other people who are in situations, where they don't have the employment or they're underemployed. And
right.
So it really can be, meet a lot of people, in areas where there is a great need. So
yes.
That's something, when somebody's looking at health coaching, they want to know that Take Shape for Life is offering something that will benefit others, and that will that is what other people are looking for. So that was important to me. I know for Connie, you know, her Take Shape for Life coaching allowed Tony, you know, to retire when he did.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it was a little different. For me, it was being able for us to be able to send our kids to college without having to take away from our savings or to use any kind of, you know, to go into any kind of debt.
That was good. Yes.
For them. Another coach that coaches with us, Tara, was on the brink of losing her home, was going into foreclosure, so she was able to save her home.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then Allison comes to mind. She had preschoolers, and it was just really important to her to not be working outside of the home while they were preschoolers, and so it allowed her to be able to, you know, work from home like Connie and I do, and come home and be with her preschoolers. So it's just kind of exciting to see the different ways that, you know, the different reasons that it, like we said, I mean, it's different for everybody, right?
Right.
What's important to them and what it means to have that financial stability. So, okay. So if someone were health coaching, we want to look a little bit at what the compensation looks like. We've talked about a lot of the freedom, or a lot of the advantages of that, the flexibility and schedule, you know, just one of the things that I love about that flexibility is I can work from anywhere, take my phone and my computer, and I'm good to go. I'm at a time in my life where I want to be able to travel. So just for the ages of my kids and all. So kind of a newly empty nester. So
okay.
Yeah. And then I'm looking for future travel when it's time to go visit grandkids and stuff. But but with Take Shape for Life, you really can work your business from anywhere. It's not, we don't have like territories or things like that. If somebody has a U.S. address, then they can work with us as a client. And actually have somebody in Japan right now. It's government, so they have a U.S. address.
Oh, okay.
So we're able to, we have a little challenge with our time zone.
I bet.
We're good. So, and then of course there's always, you know, the tax advantages of stuff of working with a home-based business. So, okay. So when we are supporting clients, I do like to give people a feel for, you know, what it looks like in terms of compensation. So if someone when we're working with our clients, if we have like 5 active clients, we're looking at bringing in maybe about $350 a month. And based upon average incomes, what I have found, that's a small business. What some people are looking for as far as that extra accountability and just really just wanting to pay it forward, finding it fulfilling. But I'm also recognizing for a lot of people, that's a car payment, and it really does make a difference in their monthly budget. We kind of the next level that, you know, there's everything in between, but just to kind of give you an idea about what compensation looks like. If we're supporting 25 active clients on program, then we're looking at about just over $2,300 a month. And so what we're finding is that people can make full-time incomes, you know, with flexible, you know, part-time schedules. And so if you know someone that fits the description of some of the things that I've already mentioned that you feel like this would really benefit, definitely Connie and I are going to ask you to let us know.
Oh, okay.
And this may be something that would really, you know, would love to kind of find out more from you, maybe about, you know, what would make a difference in your life, as far as you've said that you kind of feel like you're getting by, but there's some anxiety. But really, I mean, what would be an amount that would make a difference that you feel like might take that anxiety away?
I really don't know. I hadn't thought about it really, because I think a lot of it, my anxiety is just based on the future, which I can't control.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm trying to, I guess, by the anxiety is what I'm trying to control with the future. And I can only really control what's happening right now.
Right, right.
So,
And the choices that we make, right? Kind of like
right,
with our health, and we make decisions based upon the best information that we have at the time,
right.
and then take the actions to, and that's really kind of the take shape for life mindset, if you will, is to
Mm,
to identify what the things are that we're wanting out of life, and to evaluate where we are into relationship to those things, and then to kind of look at that and say, okay, now what are the steps that we take to go from where I currently am to what I would really like to see happening in my life. And
right,
and that's what we mean when we're saying, like, being in the driver's seat,
right.
of just recognizing that yeah, there's always going to be things in life that we can't control, but starting to identify those things that we can control, and to make those decisions and choices and start taking action on those things. And that's, I feel like, really in a lot of ways what we're offering as a community, and as a community of support, is we've got some things that will meet people where they are, and offer some structure around taking the next step that's going to move them to what it is that they want. But I would love, might be something that you would have to think a little bit more about in terms
Yeah,
of what amount of money would really, make a difference. And then Connie and I could actually, look a little bit closer at that and say, okay, that's what, this is how that would translate into having a Take Shape for Life business, how many clients should be supporting. And then a lot of times, as health coaches, then we do start working with other health coaches. So Connie's a coach that works with me, and so and I get compensated for mentoring and training and supporting with her, and it's just an incredible kind of relationships that develop out of that. But
right.
and I have found that it happens very organically. So as a client has success and makes a decision, like my husband and I did, that we want to pay it forward, and then we have, that's where that team starts to build, as far as supporting and training and coaching other health coaches. So I didn't necessarily set out to build a business like that, but like I said, it just kind of started to grow organically in that way. So, all right, I'm not going to go into a lot of numbers, because I'm a visual person, and I can't imagine that that they would necessarily stick.
Right.
But Connie and I can share with you our numbers that's on a printed on a sheet, that will kind of show you the different levels. I can tell you, like, at the integrated executive director level, we're looking at like $5,000 a month, and the numbers do go up from there. And so we have people who are choosing to do Take Shape for Life full time, that are leaving professional careers because they're finding it rewarding, both financially and very fulfilling in their life. So we'll share those numbers with you. I'll ask Connie
Okay.
if she'll email that to you. But when someone's ready to get started as a health coach, actually it's an investment of $200. It gives them everything that they need to start operating their business. It's a very turnkey approach. Our training is done online. That gets us started. Most of our training is either included in that $200 or free. We do have some annual events on a national level where we would, where we pay to go to training and attend conferences and things. But it's just, again, it's that very turnkey. We're able to start training and getting our business started and off the ground kind of right away. And it's designed to be a mentorship program. I kind of think of it even like an apprenticeship. So even though we have our own businesses, we're not working alone. We all work together, and we train together, and we learn together, and do things like this together. you
Yeah.
know? So that is, for me, it's an important thing. I don't know that I would have felt like I could have gotten started doing what I'm doing on my own, but with the support of my health coach, Janet, I kind of had that on-the-job training where she did it with me, where she did it for me, she did it with me, and then turned the reins over for me to start doing what she does. So that's kind of how that works. Our business model works. And I just, I guess I would ask you if do you know anybody that is struggling with their health, that might be looking for, something in terms of the finances or the healthy mind that would, make a good, that would be interested in learning more about what Connie and I are offering.
I can't really think of anybody right now, but a lot of people, don't share their financial issues or health issues with other people. So it's sometimes hard to realize what's going on with them. I will say Connie has been a great help to me, especially since my accident, even though I'm not part of the community of the Take Shape for Life. She's still been a wonderful friend and a great help. Even though
absolutely,
yeah, she's just a wonderful person.
She is. That doesn't surprise me at all to hear that.
All right, I shouldn't have to take this. Joanne's like a sister. Well, no. Me and my sisters have been known to disagree. So,
yeah.
Joanne's like a sister to me and always has been. She's way more than, that's why I would always just dabble with her a little bit about this, because I know, I've always felt like if she knew what I knew,
right,
she would do what I do.
Yeah.
She's been busy with her own job, with her own life. And I would say right now, and I did mean that when I said she's such a great candidate for this on so many levels, but you and I both know a person has to be ready.
Right.
What I would like for you to do, Joanne, if you don't mind, is ask some questions like you are interested, so that I can hear the answers.
Yeah, that's a good.
Mind doing that?
I'll try to think of some.
Wait.
I mean, if she's so thorough about giving all the information.
I loved it. I learned a lot. Thank you, Gay.
I know. So it really doesn't give you a lot of room for questions, because you give so much information to start off with.
Right.
And you explained how to start out. And hey,
if you were going to do this, if you had decided, I'm going to get on the program, I'm going to do the 5-in-1. What would be the first thing you'd want to know?
How to set it up. How would I set up, and how would I get clients?
Okay, so as far as health coaching goes, okay.
Right.
So so if you were going to start health coaching, how would you get started?
Yeah, right.
You would get your materials, but we would set you up with your co-branded site online, and you would start talking to people and sharing with them why you made the decision to become a health coach, which is really, it's like what we want to let the people in our world know is why we're excited about what we're offering. And I don't think you would make that decision without having made it for a reason, and that would be really what you're excited about and being able to offer to other people, and you would start getting the word out to them.
Okay. And
what would you add to that, Connie?
Well, she took me back a little bit. That was the question that she asked. And then as I've sat here and thought about her question, it occurs to me what she's done for a living, obviously, and loves is helping people in the medical field. And so she went right to the health coaching side of this.
Helping people. Yeah. Right. So I will share with you too, Joanne, some of our brand new health coaches are people who are already at a healthy weight. They might be looking at making some changes in health, but there's not anything visible. that it's going to catch the attention of others. So they just have to tell with their mouths.
Right.
And then others will have a physical transformation that people will notice.
Right.
And so while they have to share their story, when people ask, they oftentimes will have someone ask them. And I've worked with coaches on both ends of the spectrum, and that's part of our training. Actually, is how to talk to people about the program, share what we're offering, and then of course the other part of our training is how to support people through the program, because that's incredibly important that we know how to guide them through the process. And when someone is going to become a health coach, regardless of whether they're that person that has no weight to lose or there's someone who is not yet at their healthy weight, we actually want them to do the program.
Right.
Because we feel like it is an important piece. And I mean, how do we guide somebody else through something that we haven't been through ourselves?
Right.
Right. So that's kind of the first step, is to follow the 5-in-1 plan. If someone has no weight to lose, they might be doing it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a little bit of weight, but most people can handle losing a little.
I think we all could.
And then what I also find is that gets people excited, like a new health coach that is actually following the 5-in-1 because it's the first step. That then we have to learn as health coaches not to tell, just to overload people with information, because we get so excited
Right.
our personal experience and how we felt, and and what we did and all of that. So but sharing genuinely and from the heart, and caring about other people. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Any curiosity on anything else?
No, I really can't think of anything. In all honesty, like I said, she explained it so well. Gase explains everything that she went through to do it. So I really don't have any.
What you heard, Joanne, just for the benefit of the other coaches who are going to be watching this later, why don't you critique us and tell us how you felt about what you heard, the order, what did you like the most, maybe what you liked the least.
Yeah.
Do that.
Turn the record button off. So, didn't you?
No, it's still on.
Is it?
Why, you want it off? I would like to.
No, I don't care. I just, if Joanne.
I don't care.
Okay.
Okay. No, I like the way Gay explained everything, and how her enthusiasm about it. In fact, I like your enthusiasm about it. What could I really don't really have any critique about it per se. This 3-way conference is kind of a neat little thing.
Isn't it?
Yeah, this is kind of, I can see where it would be very helpful for a lot of people. It probably would be helpful for me. I don't, like I said, I've told Connie I'm really, don't want to start it right now. I'm still, I guess, at that overwhelm. Well, before I wasn't, but right now I'm still at the overwhelmed stage of everything that's happened. I guess I really don't want to add new things to my life any more than I can help.
Let's see if we can turn the clock back to when we were standing out there on the road and you looked at it and you really had some serious questions, and we answered them. We set another date and we sat and talked about it, and it was just not at that time. So I think at that time you didn't have this information. If at that time you had this information, now it's totally out of the question. You have too many irons in the fire that are way more than this. But if it was at that time when you were in control of your life,
I probably would have looked closer into doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is helpful.
So I think this 3-way would be very helpful for just an introduction session, if nothing else.
Right.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah. And I want to go back to really asking you, not role play, about other people. Like, who do you know that would really maybe someone else is going through transition in their job. Who's wanting to get out from under a job that creates less stress for them.
Pat Gee comes to mind. Connie knows her. I know she has financial issues, I think, but I don't know too much about her situation per se. I don't know, and she's kind of a private person, so I don't know how she would feel about being approached without asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be you'd have to come at it in such a way that she felt like she was asking about it.
Mm.
That's interesting insight that you have, because I can't say I've ever thought that far ahead. That was really good.
Oh, I sit and think a lot.
Joanne, is she somebody that you could introduce to Connie? I mean, not that it's I think Connie might. I know you know each other, but introduce the idea to that. Hey, I learned about this, and you're somebody that came to my mind.
No, I don't think she'd take that very well.
Yeah,
I really don't. She's And
are you thinking health coaching or the program or both?
More the program. She's financially. I don't think her weight's a problem. She's a very petite person.
Okay.
She did just get into a new relationship, and Connie probably knows her if she sees her.
I would if I saw her, but
yeah. But like I said, I don't think she's approachable as far as just going up to her and, hey, I hear you. I want to talk to you about this, because I think she'll take offense at somebody thinking she doesn't have any money coming in or something.
Kind of like when you ask them about the program and they think you're calling them fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard, and Joanne, I have to tell you, I mean, I personally wasn't overweight. And what an incredible transformation I've had. So I think I have a little lower, it has happened to me. I've heard secondhand that someone thought that that's what I was implying. But it was very innocent on my part, because I think everybody needs it.
Right.
I needed it, and no one else would have thought that I needed it. So.
No, I do have a tendency sometimes to open my mouth and insert my foot, so I wouldn't put it past me to do something like that. But I try, as I've gotten older, I've tried to be more discreet about what I say, because I've found that it hurts people's feelings when I don't intend for it to. Right.
Well, anybody that comes to mind that is maybe on high blood pressure or diabetes medication that you think if they knew that there was a way to address the health concerns related to that would be?
I would probably mention it to them if I felt comfortable enough with them to mention it.
Okay. Well, one of the things, Connie and I have gotten to a place where we have to use discretion, because we know that what we offer can help. So for me, and I think Connie would agree, is it's become a place where I have to be bold, because I feel like it can make that kind of a difference in somebody's life. And but I will wait for the right opportunity, because I do know that people have to be ready.
Right.
But I want the best for them. And I think when, especially if it's somebody that I know, that then they know that about me, So,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Questions about, like, if somebody were going to be doing the plan, like a lot of times people will have concepts about somebody who can't do the plan, or, oh, I know somebody, but they wouldn't be able to do it because, like, fill in the blank.
Well, I think anybody could do the plan if they were motivated well enough to do it. That would be.
So one of the things that you said that really triggered a thought for me was when you said keeping things simple.
Yes.
When it comes to your eating at home. And that's one of the things that we say about our program is it is simple. We're eating 6 times a day. We only have to think about it 1 time a day. And people love that about our program. It's like, I get hungry, and I've got I've got my meal to pick from one of my meals, and
Okay.
then hunger's gone, and I get to wait 2 or 3 more hours and then repeat. All right. So it simplifies things.
Yes.
So so that's good to know. A lot of times people think if they're traveling or things like that it's difficult. So you know, if you don't have any more questions, I guess I'll say that I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to do this, but I'm glad that I had the opportunity to meet you. Hope that I'll have
Nice meeting you.
opportunity to meet you. It is,
Yeah.
like Connie said, you know, the timing might not be right now, but maybe sometime.
Yeah, maybe later down the road.
Yeah, so that would be incredible. We need people like you to be a part of what we're doing. So
Thank you.
yeah, thanks. I'm going to say good night, Connie.